Today is a very auspicious day, Disappearance Day of one of the dearmost disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vaikhanas, Bhakti Gaurav, Vaikhanas Goswami Maharaj. He is also Sannyasa Guru of our Parang Gurudev. So Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, he wrote about him when he disappeared in our Chaitanya Vani magazine. So I will read. We have heard that during his life as a householder, Pujapad Bhakti Gaurav Vaikhanas Maharaj, then known as Sri Ujjwaleshwar Pata Joshirata, being disinterested in worldly affairs, sincerely sought a bona fide guru. Before he was, now I'm telling here, it is not written, he was a court scholar of one king in Orissa. He was very learned, and also he knew those tantric practices and different kind of sadhanas and got many perfections. As you heard, one time there is one sadhana you have to, on dark moon night, Amavasya, you have to go at midnight to crematorium graveyard there, and you have to sit on one dead body, and there you have to do certain sadhana, tantric. So he went there with his teacher of that practice, and he was chanting that mantra and doing that sadhana in midnight on Amavasya day, that is dark moon night. And suddenly that dead body started to shake. Then that his teacher became afraid and he ran away. But Maharaj was going on. He continued with his sadhana, and then after some time that dead body lifted his hand up. But still Maharaj was not frightened and continued that sadhana. Then ultimately that dead body spoke, "What do you want?" Then he said, "I want vidya, I want knowledge, superior knowledge." Then that dead body said, "You will not get it here. You go and search Guru, there you will get." So then he found Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and before that also one time he was going somewhere, and on the way back he could not return at proper time, so he had to stay the night in some village, and one person told him, "Yes, you can stay in that house, no one is there." So Maharaj went there, and in the midnight, in the night, ghost came. And he started to frighten Maharaj in many ways. But Maharaj asked him in Sanskrit, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm ghost. I'm Brahmadaita. I was Brahmin before, but I did some offense. So now I got this ghost body." Then Maharaj asked, "Then what do you want to do?" "I want to eat you." Then he said, "What is the benefit in eating me? And you are not afraid? I am also Brahmin. If you eat me, another sin you will make." He said, "Then what I can do? There is no one who can rescue me." Then Maharaj said, "Why no one?" "Because I can be rescued only if someone gives me the fruit of his following Ekadashi in proper way. On Dashami day, 10th day, only one time eating, noon time. On Ekadashi day, no eating, no drinking, and no sleeping for night. And on Dvadashi, only one time eating. In the morning, just little break for breaking fast, one rice, but noontime you can take prasad. Like Ambarish Maharaj did, in Satya Yuga they could do like that. In Kali Yuga, very rare. Some can do, but very rare. So then Maharaj said, then I will give you this. Every Ekadashi I'm following like this. Then he took that water from Panchapatra and he made a promise. I am Sankalpa. I am giving the fruit of one my Ekadashi following to this ghost. Then that ghost was liberated from all sins and everything, and he got human birth and sadhu sangha and everything. So that was before, and other incidents also you can find in Srila Bharati Maharaj's book. But and he was searching for Guru, but no one wanted to accept him as disciple because he was so qualified, all knowledge and ideal character, very strict and everything. So they said, how we can take you as our disciple? You are already more advanced than us. So he could not find any guru. So while he was searching, then I'm continuing here reading. One day, as fate would have it, he came across a picture of our most worshipful Srila Prabhupada. Simply by seeing that picture, his heart was captivated and drawn to the lotus feet of Prabhupada, who brought auspiciousness to the entire world, because he was preaching Krishna Bhakti throughout the world. At that very moment, within his heart, Sri Ujjwaleshwar Arat became eager to meet Srila Prabhupada, and he accepted him as a bona fide guru and best friend who would take sole responsibility for his spiritual life. Best friend means because guru is really our well-wisher. He wants us well. He does not want to exploit, has no any other interest, nothing. Only he wants our welfare, but not a material welfare, but eternal, real welfare. By Prabhupada's causeless mercy, Sri Ujjwaleshwarat was able to sever his worldly ties with exemplary swiftness and arrive in Sridham Mayapur in 1933, where he took shelter of Sri Srila Prabhupada's exquisite lotus feet. Seeing his heartfelt attachment to following the path of pure devotion, Prabhupada gave him Krishna Nam Maha Mantra and Mantra Diksha initiation after only a short while. After receiving Diksha from our most worshipful Prabhupada, Sri Ujjwaleshwarat became known as Sri Ujjwal Rasananda Das. We are singing that song, Ujjwal, Jai Radha Jai Krishna, Jayo Jayo Jwala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar. Jayo Jayo Jwala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar. Ujjwala Rasa means topmost rasa, most shining. In that verse also, Anarpita Charim Chirat Karuna Avatirna Kalo Samarpayatum Unatojjwala Rasa, most radiant rasa. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. That is love that Radharani has for Krishna, that we cannot get as jivas, but we can become assistants of Radharani. And by that service, we can taste that same rasa as Radharani, means Manjari Bhav. That bhav is highest for jiva, that we can get by the grace of Mahaprabhu. So he got the name Ujjwal Ras Ananda Das, one who is tasting the bliss of that highest radiant rasa. Noting his disciples' ever increasing intense passion for performing bhajan sadhan, Srila Prabhupada granted him Tridanda Sannyas on the auspicious full moon day of Sri Sri Gaur's appearance, Friday, 1st March 1934, at Jogapit in Sridham Mayapur, the same place where Sriman Mahaprabhu appeared in this world. Means in less than 1 year, or about 1 year after he got Harinam and Mantra Diksha, he also got sannyas, because he was qualified. In Shastra also you will find there is no any specific rule about timing or this ashram and that ashram, but only it is said when detachment comes, when that arises in someone's heart, at that time is the proper time to renounce. Does not depend on time, but on qualification. So he was already renounced, so Prabhupada very quickly gave him. Sannyas name became Tridandi Sami Srimad Bhakti Gaurav Vaikhanas Gosvami Maharaj. From then on, under the auspices of Sri Guru, he assumed the role of a roaming mendicant and dedicated his very life to propagating the divine message of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga in various places throughout India, from one region to the next. He would speak lectures in Sanskrit, high class audience, in Sanskrit and Oriya also. But his Sanskrit was so clear that everywhere throughout India they could understand him, because from Sanskrit all other languages are coming. So clearly he was speaking that they could understand. And high class, pure Harikatha. In his later years, following the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, at the fervent behest of his Oriya disciples, he established Sri Saraswata Ashram in the village of Gonjugram near Berhampur, otherwise known as Berhampur. Here it is written, Gonjugram near Brahmapur. That is original name, Brahmapur, but now they are calling Berhampur. This is his birthplace also, Gonju district. There Maharaj appeared, so this is in Orissa. That is why he was speaking Oriya language, and he was the only sannyas disciple of Prabhupada who was from Orissa. Others were Bengali or Assamese like this. He was one of the 18 direct who got directly sannyas from Prabhupada. After establishing the service of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Ji, there he remained at that place and performed bhajan sadhan until concluding his manifest pastimes in this world. So in that ashram he was doing bhajan, and those fortunate souls who came to him, he would guide them towards spiritual realization, perfection. He would not travel so much around after Prabhupada's disappearance, but before he was traveling all India. So now those who came to him, they got shelter. Like Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj said, it is not that you can do preaching only by going from one place to another. That is also, but another way also is the same like when one flower is growing and then that flower is blossoming and emits very nice fragrance. And that fragrance will spread around. So all they will become attracted by that fragrance and they will go there together. Like that, if some Vaishnava is doing bhajan and he's getting that bliss, then others will be attracted to him and they will get shelter. Because one time some Western devotees, they came to Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj and they start to explain to him about so many preaching projects they want to make and like this, and long time they were speaking. Then ultimately Puri Maharaj was hearing and he said, what prachar? You do bhajan. Means what preaching? You do bhajan, you worship Krishna. First you have to worship Krishna. We are only wanting to impress upon others and for some name and fame or for worldly things like this, we are preaching. But we are actually not having the target to satisfy Krishna. So many anarthas there in our heart and for this reason, for all these things. So how we can preach Krishna Bhakti? Only we will collect material things. So he told them, you have to do bhajan, means you have to worship Krishna. For his satisfaction, you have to serve him. Then you can also preach Krishna Bhakti. But if you yourself are not doing, then what preaching you will do? So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur to preach, because they are already established as real devotees, so they can awaken other sleeping souls. If I'm not awakened, how I can awake others? So in this way, jivas will be attracted to such sadhu who is doing bhajan, and then he can help them. Like this Maharaj, after the disappearance of Prabhupada, he was mostly staying here, and there is also his samadhi, and our Gurudev told that he got that service after his disappearance to give some monetary service for the deity of Vaikhanas Goswami Maharaj, and later on also for the dome, for construction of temple. It is Vaishnava Seva, Gurudev told. By his grace, he got. Pujyapat Maharaj was naturally resplendent with the multitude of attributes found in Vaishnavas. But in recalling his simple-hearted, amiable dealings and his sweet, peaceful presence, my heart becomes especially overwhelmed. After the disappearance of our most worshipful Prabhupada, he bestowed sannyas to many of his prominent god brothers, such as Srimad Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, the founder of Sri Chaitanya Gauriya Math, Sri Bhakti Soda Ashram Goswami Maharaj, Sri Bhakti Sharan Shanta Goswami Maharaj. We will observe his disappearance date tomorrow. Myself, means Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, he also took from him in Champahati, in Navadip, Gaur Gadadhar temple, and our Parangurudev he took in Puri, in Tota Gopinath temple. Although he accepted the position of sannyas guru, he continued to show us the respect due one's god brothers, and thereby demonstrated the ideal nature of a Vaishnava, which entails offering respects to others while not expecting any in return. So this was his mood, Amanina Manadena, but our Parangurudev also had respect for him as his sannyas guru. Even when Parangurudev was already a charjo, he used to do menial services for Srila Vaikhanas Goswami Maharaj. When he invited him to our Hyderabad mat, he came to receive him there on the station and took him to the mat and was carrying umbrella to keep the sun shade. So menial service one should do to Guru, all kinds of services. You will find this photo in our Calcutta mat in Bhajan Kutir of Parangurudev, how Parangurudev is carrying umbrella for Vaikhanas Goswami Maharaj. And our Gurudev told that he was always respecting him as his sannyas guru, doing all kinds of services and respect everything. And always carrying Tridanda with him, given by sannyas guru, because there are three deities of Kshiroda Kashai, Garbhoda Kashai and Karanoda Kashai are installed there inside. So our Parangurudev showed ideal acharan, means ideal behavior towards one's sannyas guru or towards anyone. Because pure devotee, they are always in this Amanina Manadena. And Gurudev said that nowadays, aspirants, they come to get from Guru, they get mantra and then they are not keeping any relation with Guru. So only they want to get. But the thing is, one has to serve Guru. Pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Service. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina statva darshina. You have to approach such Guru who has knowledge of scripture, who has seen the truth, means he realized. In this way you have to approach him to get that divine knowledge by surrendering to him, then honest inquiry for your eternal welfare, and service. Service is that menial service for Guru, and also service also means to follow the instructions of Guru. By that Guru is pleased, serve. And later on, also when you realize, then also you have to teach to others what Guru taught you after accepting yourself in your life, practicing, realizing, then it is one service to your Guru to teach this to others, because it is Guru's desire that this should not be stopped. Guru has compassion to all jivas, so he wants that others should also be rescued. So this is also one kind of Guru Seva, to bring other souls to Krishna. So all bona fide Gurus, they are not thinking I am Guru and I am the owner of disciples and owner of these temples and I have such position, and no, they are never thinking that way. Real Gurus, they are always thinking I am servant of my Gurudev. For his service, I am doing this. Because Krishna will be pleased if jivas are brought to him, because Krishna does not like to see jivas suffering. So if someone is helping jivas to turn towards Krishna, then Krishna will be pleased. Guru will be pleased. So they're doing as a service to Guru and Krishna, not as any enjoyer in mood. No. So this is also their Guru for the service of their Guru. Only for this reason. So our Parangurudev showed this ideal behavior. We were stunned to see that even in his extremely advanced age, Srila Maharaj's acute powers of memory remained unaffected. Every day we heard him recite songs and prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam, such as Garbha Stuti, means when demigods offered prayers to the womb of Mother Devaki when Krishna was inside. So he learned he had this by heart, and also when installing deities, our Gurudev told he would not check any book. Automatically all those mantras he was uttering by remembrance. Because from birth he already practiced this. He was a scholar before already. Brahma Stuti, that is prayers offered by Brahma to Krishna after stealing the cows and calves and cowherd boys. Then when he surrendered to Krishna, then he offered those prayers. So these prayers Maharaj would also recite. Rasa Panchadhyaya means 5 chapters of Rasa Lila. He memorized, but he did not speak in public. This was his own bhajan he was doing. Only with qualified persons he would discuss this also. Brahmar Gita, that is the song of the bumblebee or to the bumblebee by Radharani in Gita, in Bhagavatam you will find. When Krishna left Vrindavan and all the Brajavasis, especially the gopis and Radharani, they were feeling acute separation from Krishna. So one time Radharani was there in the field and she saw one black bee. So she thought, oh, this is black bee. She must be friend or messenger of Krishna because she's black. So she thought, oh, you are a messenger of Krishna. Then Radharani outpoured her transcendental emotions of separation, grief from Krishna to that bumblebee. That is called Brahmar Gita. That is not easy to, as our Srila Bharati Goswami Maharaj said, that is not easy to digest, to understand, to digest, because that is so high. It is not for everyone. Then Prahlad Charita, biography of Prahlad and those prayers of Prahlad, and Gajendra Moksha, we are also reading. Additionally, he would often recite Brahma Sanhita and the entire Bhagavad Gita, as well as various Vedic mantras. And these Vedic mantras means for deity worship and for other these rituals he knew. And the many hymns composed by Sri Rupa and Raghunath Das Goswamis. Although Pujapat Maharaj passed away at a very advanced age, today in separation from such a highly learned personality, who is actually an ancient devotee of the Lord, we are experiencing acute anguish in our hearts. May he be pleased with us and distribute among us his affection and mercy. This is Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. Our Gurudev used to tell also all these things, and also his personal experience in Chaitanya Math, original Chaitanya Math in Mayapur, that was after the disappearance of Prabhupada. One time Srila Vaikhanas Goswami Maharaj came there and he was speaking Harikatha in Sanskrit or Oriya. So Gurudev said Oriya is similar to Bengali and Sanskrit also is similar, so I could understand. And Gurudev said he saw Maharaj that if any sincere aspirant for eternal welfare, he will ask some question to Maharaj, then Maharaj would very affectionately and very with compassion and with care, with attention, everything, he would help that person. He would explain to him and encourage and everything with great care. But sometimes some persons, they would ask question not for their spiritual advancement, but because they wanted to show their own scholarship. They will ask some question and then Maharaj will give some reply, then they will debate back, argue in this way. So they had such intention inside. Outwardly like humbly asking, but that was their intention, to show their pedantic feats, means scholarship or intelligence and like this. So Maharaj, because he is a pure devotee, he can see in the heart of everyone, or the heart of everyone is reflected in his heart. He immediately understood and he did not say even one word to them, only he smiled. Why? Because waste of time. Real devotees, they have no desire for any worldly name and fame. I'm great scholar, I'm this, I know more than you. They have no, their only desire is to serve Krishna. They're getting taste from the service of Krishna, not from worldly. That is disgusting to them. So why they will waste their time? And they can immediately understand. Like Rup Sanatan also understood. That person did not come for any eternal welfare. So why we will waste our time? We have to serve Krishna. Maharaj also understood and did not reply anything. But conditioned souls will like this, to argue, to debate, and to win, and to show, yeah, I know more than you, like this. But real devotees, they are not interested in this. Jiva Goswami is also not interested in this. But he argued with that person with the right motive, to preserve the dignity of Rupa Sanatan for the benefit of conditioned souls. Because they will not understand the humility of real devotees and why they did not want to debate with that puffed up person. So ordinary people, they might think they were scared and they have no knowledge. So Jiva Goswami understood the worldly people, they will be deprived of the mercy of Rupa Sanatan if they will think like that. So with that target, he argued and he showed, if a disciple of Rupa Sanatan can defeat you, then what to speak of them? So for that reason, no any other worldly motive was there. So I'm remembering Srila Bhakti Gaurav Vaikhanas Goswami Maharaj. I saw his photo in our mat in Calcutta. I am bowing down to him and pray for his causeless mercy. Yesterday we heard in the class of Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj how Vyasadeva was dissatisfied after writing other scriptures. Then, by the grace of Narad, he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, where the glories of pure devotion are there, and different avatars of Krishna, and also his Braja Lila, that is topmost. So when Vyasadeva wrote this, then he was peaceful, happy, satisfied, eternal bliss he got. And if one sees all other scriptures like Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, Mahabharata, in the light of Bhagavatam, then they can also find that there. Otherwise, general reading, general understanding, you will not be able. But if by the light of Bhagavatam, then you can understand. Vyasadeva also wrote that in Garuda Puran, that Bhagavatam is the explanation of Gayatri, is the explanation of Mahabharata, and is the explanation of Vedanta Sutra. So if you see in this light, then you can find there what is actually real intention. That is why you will find Sampradaya Bihina Je Mantra Stenishpalamata. Sadhano Gair, that one verse from Padma Puran, I did not say the complete one. The meaning is, if you will not accept mantra from one bona fide Sampradaya, then practicing that mantra for millions of kalpas, means days of Brahma, you will not get fruit, means eternal welfare. It will be fruitless. That is why in Kali Yuga, 4 bona fide Sampradayas will be there to rescue the people of Kali Yuga. One is Brahma Sampradaya, one is Rudra Sampradaya from Shiva, one is from Lakshmi, Shri Sampradaya, one is from 4 Kumaras, Sanat, Kumar, Sanandan, the 4. That Sampradaya. And our Gurudev explained the word Sampradaya does not mean sect or sectarianism. He's from that Sampradaya, this Sampradaya, like this. No. Sampradaya, nowadays people they have such conception, Sampradaya. But Sampradaya means Samyak Sampradaya. Yes, that Pragya Daine, where complete transcendental knowledge is properly retained and given. That Amnayavani means divine knowledge, where it is retained in its entirety, pure form, and given. That is Sampradaya. Samyak Pradaya, Sampradaya. What Brahma, when he was trying to find out, who am I? What is my purpose? From where I came? What I have to do? He did not know anything. Then he tried to know, but he could not. Then he surrendered. Then Krishna gave him to do tapasya, to control his senses and mind. And then he gave him also Gayatri mantra. And by chanting that, Brahma understood everything. Then he realized Sambandha Videya Prayojana. So that knowledge which Krishna gave to Brahma, Brahma gave to Narad. And Narad gave to Vyas, and like this it is coming. That knowledge, divine knowledge. Or what Shiva gave to Vishnu Swami, he gave, and Lakshmi, they all realized. So first Krishna is there and his person associate, then they give, and that Sampradaya. So that is why you will find in Mundaka Upanishad, Tad Vigyan Artham Sagurum Eva Bigachet Samit Pani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. In order to get that Vigyan, special knowledge or realization of truth, Tad Vigyan Artham, meaning proper knowledge, you have to go to Guru, bona fide Guru, with surrender, with service attitude, and Guru will have these two qualities, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Shrotriya means he heard the Vedas and he understands the Vedas. This is one meaning. Another meaning is he heard the mantra, like Brahma. In that mantra, everything is there inside. Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. He is like in a seed. When you practice, then it will be revealed. You will get that realization. Narad also gave to Vyasa only 4 shlokas. Then Vyas meditated and realized, then he wrote 18,000 verses of Bhagavatam. So the Sampradaya and Brahmanishta, he must have realization of Brahman, means Supreme Lord. Such one can be Guru if he has these two qualities. From him one can get real mantra, Sampradayic mantra. Mantra is not only some outward thing. You have to get it from real Sampradaya. And real Sampradaya means from bona fide Guru, who is himself in Sampradaya, and he realized he can give on the order of Krishna. That is why for each Sampradaya to be accepted as Sampradaya, they must have 3 kinds of, they must accept 3 kinds of evidences, and they must give explanation of those 3 evidences. That is Prasthanatraya, means Shrutis, that is Upanishads, that which is directly heard in Samadhi by surrendered soul. They heard. No one wrote that or spoke. That is directly from Krishna, his breathing. Upanishad, they are eternal, they are floating. And they are also persons. So some sages in their Samadhi, they heard that sound and they wrote it down. But they are not the authors. That is Shruti. And then there is Smriti, that which one who realized the truth wrote down. That knowledge, like Mahabharata is Smriti, also Puranas, they are Smriti, Bhagavatam also Smriti. Vyasadeva wrote. Bhagavad Gita is also Smriti, but Chandogya Upanishad is Shruti, or Isha Upanishad is also Shruti. Gita is Smriti. And Nyaya, logic. Logic is given in Vedanta Sutra. Reasoning behind all scriptural evidences. What is the real meaning of Shrutis and Smritis, it is given through logical, through reasoning, through the reasoning there, it is shown, Nyaya. So every Sampradaya must have commentaries on these three. That is why they all commented on Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, and Bhagavad Gita. All, Shankaracharya also. And for Gauriyas, there was no direct commentary to Vedanta Sutra because we are accepting Bhagavatam. But they were pressing that Sampradaya. So Krishna also manifested for Gauriyas that explanation of this. That is why you will see in Jiva Goswami's Sat Sandarbhas, there he is giving all Siddhanta of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana, and he is quoting from all these three, from Shruti scriptures, from Smriti scriptures, and from Vedanta. From all three, he's giving evidences to prove Mahaprabhu's teaching. So we heard that this is the divinity of the personality of Godhead in Bhagavatam. He is not affected by the qualities of material nature, even though he is in contact with them. Similarly, the devotees who have taken shelter of the Lord do not become influenced by the material qualities, even though they may stay in this world. So only this verse I will read. Tam menire bala muda strainam chanu vratam raha apramana vido bhartur ishwara matayo yatha. The simple and delicate woman truly thought that Lord Shri Krishna, their beloved husband, followed them and was dominated by them. They were unaware of the extent of the glories of their husband, as the atheists are unaware of him as the supreme controller. But one is atheists, they are bewildered by Mahamaya. They cannot understand. But queens, they are under Jogamaya. They are serving Krishna in, that is mixed like Aishwarya and Madhurja in Dwaraka, Swakya Rasa is there. That is Jogamaya. Srila Sridhar Maharaj used these terms. Inward carrying current and outward carrying current. Inward means towards Krishna. That is Jogamaya. And outward carrying is Mahamaya. So he said we have to come under the influence of inward carrying current. We have to enter that current. By the grace of Sarup Shakti, we can get the service of Krishna. So, it is not necessary for all to study all the Shastras, because everything will be revealed in their heart. All Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana will be revealed in their heart if they will sincerely practice mantra from bona fide Sampradaya, from bona fide Guru, because there everything is there inside. So one who will get that realization, he will know everything automatically. Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. But some acharyas, they also play this pastime of, like Jiva Goswami, of quoting also all the Shastras given by Vyasadeva. So tomorrow we will hear about Shanta Gosai Maharaj and further Bhagavatam. Now the birth of Emperor Parikshit will come.